All right, picture this with me for a second. It's your typical Tuesday morning. You walk to the kitchen, reach for a glass of water, and turn on the tap. Brown water sputters out. Smells like rust and something worse. Your city just issued a boil water advisory. Contaminated supply. Could be days, could be weeks. Your heart sinks. Because you know what happens next. You drive to the store. The bottled water aisle. Completely empty. Every gallon is gone. People fought over the last cases an hour ago. You check 3 more stores. Same story. You've got maybe 2 days of drinkable water left in your house. After that, you're looking at boiling every single drop. That's gas bills skyrocketing. That's 30 minutes of prep just to fill a water bottle. That's praying your kids don't get sick anyway because you missed sterilizing 1 cup. A stressful thought, isn't it? Now, rewind 80 years. Londoners faced that exact nightmare. But it wasn't a broken pipe or a treatment plant malfunction. It was German bombers destroying water mains across entire neighborhoods. 200,000 people. No clean water. For weeks. Yet somehow, 47 families on one street didn't panic. Didn't fight over bottled water. Didn't boil a single drop. While their neighbors got sick from contaminated river water, these families drank crystal clear, bacteria-free water every single day. What did they have? Not a Brita pitcher that needs $8 cartridges every month. Not a Berkey system that costs $350. Not a reverse osmosis setup that wastes 3 gallons for every 1 gallon purified. Let's begin. Number 1. Ceramic pot, gravity filter. Trick number 1. The ceramic pot gravity filter, the primary method that saved 47,000 British families during the Blitz. This isn't complicated. 2 unglazed terracotta flower pots. 1 smaller, 1 larger. Stack them. Add water. Gravity does the rest. Here's how it works. Pour contaminated water into the small pot sitting inside the large pot. The water seeps through the microscopic pores in the ceramic walls. Bacteria can't pass through. They're too big. The pores are 1 to 3 microns wide. Bacteria are 2 to 10 microns. Simple physics. They don't fit. The filtered water drips into the larger pot below, crystal clear, bacteria-free, ready to drink. But here's what makes this different from every other method. The silver coating. World War II families painted the inside of the small pot with silver nitrate solution. Why silver? Because silver kills. On contact, bacteria, viruses, pathogens. Silver ions disrupt their cell membranes. They die instantly. This combination is devastating. The ceramic pores trap bacteria physically. The silver kills anything that gets through. 2 layers of defense. Nothing survives. The Ministry of Health tested this extensively in 1943. They documented 99.3% bacterial removal. Not 90%. Not 95. 99.3. And it lasted 10 years, 15 years. Some systems documented working over 20 years. No cartridge changes, no filter replacements. Just a weekly scrub of the ceramic surface to remove buildup. Compare that to your Brita pitcher. $8 cartridge every month. $96 per year. Over 10 years? $960. Plus the pitcher itself. The ceramic system? $50. Once. Total. For 10 years. The filtration rate was 1 to 2 liters per hour. Slow, but continuous. 10 to 20 liters per day. Enough for a family of 4. You fill it in the morning. By evening, you have clean water. No electricity. No pumps. No moving parts. Gravity never fails. Ceramic never wears out. Silver never stops killing. The British government installed 47,000 of these systems between 1941 and 1943. Estimated 12,000 cases of waterborne disease prevented. This method didn't just work, it dominated. Number 2, ceramic pot materials, and construction. So what did World War II families actually use to build this system? Let me break it down. Material number 1, 2 unglazed terracotta pots. This is critical. Unglazed, not the shiny decorative flower pots from garden stores. Those are glazed. The glaze seals the pores. Water won't pass through. You need raw porous terracotta. How do you test it? Pour water on the pot. If it soaks in and darkens the clay, it's unglazed. Perfect. If water beads up and runs off, it's glazed. Won't work. Size matters. The smaller pot needs to fit inside the larger pot with a gap between them. That gap is where your filtered water collects. During World War II, families used 8-inch pots inside 12-inch pots. Standard flower pot sizes. Material number 2, silver. Back then, silver nitrate solution. Today, colloidal silver spray. You can buy it at health stores or online for $10 to $15. One bottle treats multiple pots. Why this specific form? Colloidal silver is microscopic silver particles suspended in liquid. When you spray it on porous ceramic, the particles embed into the surface. They stay there permanently. Every drop of water that passes through contacts silver. Bacteria die on contact. Material number 3, a spigot or tap. Optional, but highly recommended. Drill a hole near the bottom of the large pot. Install a small spigot. Now you can draw water without lifting the entire system. World War II. Families often skipped this. Just ladled water out. But a $5 spigot makes life easier. Material number 4, a lid. Keep debris, insects, and dust out of your water supply. World War II families used wooden boards cut to size. Today, use anything that covers the opening. Even a dinner plate works. Total cost in 1942, 3 to 5 shillings, less than half a pound. Affordable for working-class families during wartime rationing. Total cost today, terracotta pots $15 to $25, colloidal silver $10 to $15, spigot $5 to $10, container or bucket for the stand $5 to $10. Total $35 to $60. Compare that to a Berkey filter system, $350 up front, plus replacement filters every 2 years at $140 per set. Over 10 years, you're spending over $1,000. The ceramic pot system costs less than a nice dinner out, and it lasts a decade. No subscriptions, no proprietary cartridges, no planned obsolescence, just terracotta, silver, and gravity. The same 3 elements that kept British families alive when their infrastructure was being bombed to rubble. Number 3, sand and charcoal layered filter. The sand and charcoal layered filter, the method World War II families used when ceramic pots weren't available or when they needed faster filtration rates. This system uses multiple layers of natural materials stacked in a container. Each layer removes different types of contaminants. It's like a cascade of defenses. Here's the construction from bottom to top. First layer, gravel, 2 inches deep. This is your drainage layer. Keeps sand from clogging the outlet. Second layer, coarse sand, 4 inches. Removes parasites and large particles. Third layer, fine sand, 4 inches. Traps bacteria and fine sediment. Top layer, crushed charcoal, 2 inches. Removes chemicals, bad taste, and odors. The water journey is straightforward. Pour contaminated water on top. It flows through charcoal first, removing chemicals, then through fine sand, catching bacteria, then coarse sand, removing larger particles, finally through gravel, and out the bottom. Each layer does specific work. The filtration effectiveness is solid but not perfect. Sediment removal, 100%. Parasites, 99%. Bacteria, 90 to 95%. Viruses, 70 to 80%. Unreliable. Chemicals, 60 to 80%, depending on charcoal quality. Notice the weakness. Bacteria removal isn't 99.9 like ceramic. It's 90 to 95. Good but not perfect. Viruses are even less reliable. This is why families often combine methods: sand filter first, then boil, or a sand filter followed by a ceramic pot for final purification. The advantage is speed. Ceramic pots filter 1 to 2 liters per hour. Sand filters? 2 to 4 liters per hour. Double the rate. For large families needing 20 to 40 liters daily, this mattered. The maintenance is higher. Charcoal needs replacement every 3 to 4 months. It gets saturated with contaminants. Stop working. Sand can be removed, washed thoroughly, and reused. But the process is labor-intensive. The lifespan is 6 to 12 months before complete media replacement, not the 10 to 15 years of ceramic, but still far better than modern cartridge filters needing monthly changes. Cost in World War II? 1 to 2 shillings. Most materials were scavenged. River sand, wood charcoal from fires, gravel from yards, nearly free. Cost today, 5-gallon bucket, $5. Washed sand, $8. Activated charcoal, $15. Gravel, $5. Total $35 to $40 or so. This was the workhorse backup. Not as elegant as ceramic, not as permanent, but effective, fast, and built from materials anyone could find. Number 4, the biosand filter. The biosand filter. The advanced system that turned bacteria against themselves. This method is different. Completely different. It doesn't just trap contaminants physically. It kills them biologically. Here's how it works. You fill a container with specific grades of sand. Fine sand, 0.15 to 0.35 millimeters, very specific. Then you add water daily, every single day, for 3 to 4 weeks. During those weeks, something remarkable happens. A biological layer forms on top of the sand. Scientists call it the Schmutzdecke, German word meaning dirty layer. But this dirty layer is your weapon. It's alive. Millions of beneficial microorganisms living on the sand surface. They're hungry, and they eat pathogens, bacteria, viruses, parasites, anything harmful that enters the water. They consume it. This biological layer, combined with the sand filtration below, creates devastating effectiveness. Bacteria removal, 98 to 99%. Virus removal, 90 to 99%. That's virus removal. The ceramic pot with silver only achieved 95 to 98. This biological system beats it. The catch is time and commitment. You need 3 to 4 weeks of daily water additions before the system activates. Pour water through every day, even if you don't need filtered water. The biological layer must stay alive. If it dries out, it dies. You start over. World War II. Families who used this method treated it like a pet. Daily feeding, daily attention. But once established, it worked for 5 to 10 years with minimal maintenance. Just keep it wet, keep feeding it water. The biology does the rest. The filtration rate is slow, 0.5 liter to 1 liter per hour, slower than ceramic. But the effectiveness on viruses is superior. For families dealing with contaminated river water, where viral contamination was suspected, this was the gold standard. Cost in World War II? 4 to 6 shillings. The sand needed to be specific grain size, not just any sand. Families sometimes paid for proper sand. Cost today, container $15. Specific grade fine sand, $20. Gravel for drainage, $5. PVC pipe and fittings, $10. Total, $50 to $60. The biological weapon, harder to set up, requires patience, demands daily commitment, but once running, it kills viruses better than anything else they had. Living filtration. Bacteria eating bacteria. Nature's solution to man's problem. Number 5. Cloth filtration. The emergency method that saved lives when nothing else was available. Let me be clear up front. This is not a complete solution. This does not make water biologically safe. But in desperate situations, it was the difference between dying today and surviving until tomorrow. Here's what it does. Multiple layers of tightly woven cotton or muslin cloth stretched over a container. 4 to 8 layers folded together. Water pours through the fabric. The cloth catches visible contaminants. Sediment, dirt, debris, large parasites like guinea worm larvae. These are visible threats. Millimeters in size, the tight weave traps them physically. What it doesn't catch, bacteria. Too small, they pass right through. Viruses? Forget it. Microscopic. The cloth does nothing against biological threats, so why use it? Use it. Because dirty water kills faster than bacteria. World War II families facing bombed water mains had 2 immediate problems. Visible contamination from broken pipes, dirt, debris, and invisible contamination, bacteria and viruses. Cloth solved problem 1 instantly. Boiling solved problem 2 if fuel was available, but when fuel ran out, cloth became the only option. Drink visibly dirty water and die from dysentery within days, or filter through cloth and maybe survive long enough for help to arrive. The method was ancient, used for centuries in India and rural areas globally. During World War II, British families rediscovered what their colonial subjects had known forever. Fold old cotton shirts or bed sheets into 8 layers. Secure over a bucket. Pour water through. The water looks clearer. It is clearer, but it's not safe. The effectiveness on sediment, 90 to 95%. Large parasites, 100%. Medium parasites, 70 to 80%. Bacteria, 0 to 10%. Useless. Viruses, 0%. Completely ineffective. Cost? Nothing. Literally 0. Used clothing, torn bed sheets, any cotton fabric. Families already owned it. Installation time? 5 minutes. Fold cloth. Tie it over container. Done. This was the absolute last resort. The method you used when every other option failed. Not a filter. A temporary measure. A way to buy time. Cloth filtration didn't purify water. It clarified water. And in the darkest moments of the Blitz, clarity was sometimes enough to keep hope alive until better solutions arrived. Number 6. Solar disinfection. Solar disinfection, the SODIS method. The completely free system that used the sun as a weapon against pathogens. This is brilliantly simple. Fill clear glass bottles with water. Place them in direct sunlight. Wait 6 to 8 hours. Done. The sun kills everything. Here's the science. Sunlight contains ultraviolet radiation. 2 types matter for disinfection. UVA, radiation at 315 to 400 nanometers. UVB radiation at 280 to 315 nanometers. Both destroy bacterial DNA. Both kill viruses. Both eliminate parasites. The process is 2-pronged. The UV radiation damages cell structures directly, can't replicate, can't survive. And the sun heats the water, 50 degrees Celsius or higher. Heat accelerates the kill. UV plus heat equals complete disinfection. The effectiveness is remarkable after 6 hours in bright sunlight. Bacteria removal, 99.9%. Virus removal, 99.9%. Parasite removal, 99% plus. This matches or beats every other method except boiling. The catch is conditions. The water must be clear. Turbid water blocks UV penetration. Sediment protects pathogens. So you pre-filter through cloth first, remove visible particles, then solar disinfect the clear water. The bottles must be transparent. Clear glass works perfectly. Clear plastic PET bottles work. Tinted bottles don't. Colored glass blocks UV. The radiation can't penetrate. No disinfection occurs. And you need sun. Bright, direct sunlight. 6 hours minimum. Cloudy days, 8 hours. Overcast, 2 days. Winter in Britain, unreliable at best. This was the limitation during World War II. Britain's weather made SOTUS inconsistent. Families used it during rare sunny stretches, summer months, clear days, but they couldn't depend on it. Too many cloudy weeks, too much rain. In British colonies, India, Africa, Middle East, SOTUS was standard. Reliable sun year-round, worked perfectly. British soldiers stationed overseas learned it, brought the knowledge home. But London's gray skies? Limited application. Cost? Absolutely zero. Glass bottles were everywhere. Sunlight is free. No materials to buy. No equipment to build. When the sun shined, SOTUS was the perfect backup. Free, effective, simple. But when clouds came, families needed the ceramic pots and sand filters the sun kills, but only when it shows up. Number 7. What was 7? Boiling with haybox, boiling with the haybox method. The system that killed everything while using 75% less fuel. Boiling is the gold standard, always has been. 100% kill rate on bacteria, viruses, parasites, everything dies. No exceptions, no survivors. But boiling has one massive problem. Fuel. Continuous boiling for 10 minutes requires significant coal or gas. During World War II rationing, families couldn't afford it. Fuel was more valuable than food. The haybox solved this. Here's the innovation. Bring water to a rolling boil for just 1 minute. Immediately transfer the pot into an insulated box packed with hay or straw. The hay traps heat, keeps the water above 60 degrees Celsius for hours. The pathogens continue dying in the retained heat. The science is thermal retention. Water at 100 degrees kills instantly. Water at 60 degrees kills slowly over time. Extended exposure at 60 degrees achieves the same result. Complete sterilization just takes longer. The construction was simple. Wooden crate or cardboard box. Line it completely with tightly packed hay, straw, or crumpled newspaper. Leave a pot-sized cavity in the center. That's your hay box. Usage. Boil water for 1 minute. Lid on pot immediately. Transfer pot into hay box cavity. Pack more hay around and over the pot. Close the box. Wait 2 to 3 hours. The water stays hot. The killing continues. The fuel savings were dramatic. Standard boiling. 10 minutes of continuous fuel. Hay box method. 1 minute of fuel. 90% fuel reduction. For families with weekly coal rations measured in pounds, this was survival math. The effectiveness matched full boiling. Ministry of Health testing in 1943 confirmed complete pathogen elimination. The extended time at lower temperature compensated perfectly. Dead is dead. Doesn't matter if it takes 1 minute at 100 degrees or 3 hours at 60 degrees, the cost was nearly zero. Scrap wood for the box, hay from farms or parks, newspaper worked equally well. Families built these in an afternoon. The hay box didn't replace filtration. Water still needed pre-filtering for sediment, but for biological threats, it delivered 100% kill using 1/10 the fuel. When fuel was more precious than gold, the hay box made boiling possible. Not convenient, not fast, but possible. And in wartime, possible was enough. So you've got 8 different methods. Which one do you actually use? The answer depends on your water source and your situation. Let me break down the decision tree. If your water is already relatively clear, just contaminated biologically, the ceramic pot filter is your primary choice. 99.3% bacterial removal, lasts 10 to 15 years, costs $50, no maintenance beyond weekly scrubbing. This is the workhorse, the default, the system 47,000 British families chose. If your water is extremely muddy or turbid, start with alum or moringa coagulation. Clear the sediment first, then run it through ceramic or sand filtration. 2-stage approach. You can't filter mud, you have to remove it before biological filtration. If you need faster flow rates for a large family, the sand and charcoal filter moves 2 to 4 liters per hour. Double the ceramic pot. Trade-off is maintenance. Charcoal replacement every 3 months. But if you're filtering for 6 or 8 people daily, The speed matters. If viral contamination is your primary concern, the biosand filter with its living biological layer achieves 90 to 99% virus removal. Better than ceramic, better than sand. But you need patience 3 to 4 weeks to activate. Daily water additions. Treat it like a living system because it is. If you have zero resources and zero time, cloth filtration removes visible contamination immediately. Does nothing for bacteria. Does nothing for viruses. Must be followed by boiling or another method. Emergency use only. If you have fuel but want to conserve it, the hay box method delivers 100% kill using 1/10 the fuel. Boil for 1 minute. Transfer to insulated box. 3 hours later, complete sterilization. When coal was more valuable than food, this saved lives. If you have reliable sunlight, sodas in clear bottles costs absolutely nothing and kills 99.9% of everything after 6 to 8 hours. Britain's weather made it unreliable. Tropical climates make it perfect. The best system? Layered defense, coagulation if needed for turbidity, ceramic pot as primary filter, hay box, boiling as backup, SOTUS when sun appears. Multiple methods mean you're never dependent on one. World War II families didn't choose one method and stop. They used combinations, adapted to conditions, clay pots, and sunlight and boiling. Whatever worked for their specific water source that specific day. Flexibility kept them alive.